So a little bit about me. I was an applicant last year and I went through a lot of interviews. I learned from my mistake, so I was able to do a lot better on my interview toward the end versus at the beginning. And I just wish that I know this before my interview so that I can do a lot better and ace all of my interview, I mean. But it's okay. I am where I'm happy with where it ended up now. I just want to do this videos to help other people who was in the same situation as me last year. I just actually did a lot of research on how to do better on PA school interview as well, and I think they did really good on tell me what to do, but not how to do it exactly. If you're in the same shoes, then this video is for you. I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do what needs to be done. I think the biggest advice that everybody gonna tell you, first thing first, is to be yourself. Um, to me, the advice is very helpful and it stay true for all the interview, not just PA school interview. What I want to emphasize here is how to be yourself. And when I think about how, it's actually a very hard question because I don't have the answer. But I gotta twist that advice into something similar, that is to not being someone that's not you. So sometimes you come to the interview, you're very nervous and you want the interviewer to know that you're friendly. For example, you are a friendly person and you want them to know that. It's very easy to fall into the habit of acting because you're so nervous and you want to prove that you're friendly. So you start acting like you're friendly. The moment that you have to act, that is when you're not yourself. Even though you're friendly and you're acting like you're friendly, still, if you're being yourself, you don't have to act. So sometimes when you go to the interview and you're like, hi, hello, you don't know when you're being yourself, but when you're acting, you're not being yourself. So again, if you find yourself pretending or acting or talk in a certain way, try to portray something, then you're not being yourself. Then you have to stop that. It's okay. Sometimes I'm going out of line, guys. I go to the interview, I was being myself, and then I start to like a little bit over. That's when I tell myself that, oh, it's okay, just calm down and be yourself. It's fine. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to overly showing yourself. Just be yourself and they'll be able to see that. And it's so much easier on you. It's so much easier to be yourself and not trying to portray anything. That will create a better environment and you'll feel more comfortable, and that will engage other people more than what you thought. Second thing, you don't want to answer the question only. So you want to add a story, or even better, always tell the story when you go to the interview. Treat the interview like a conversation. Don't make it like question, answer, question, answer. It's going to be boring and they don't know about you. People know about you from what you go through, from your story. Your story should fit into things like what happened, what you did, and what is the outcome. That is a basic storyline. And sometimes it's better to put your story in that category so that when you tell them, the story stay clear and it can convey your message when you conclude it at the end, like the outcome. That's the conclusion. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about how you can have a good story, or how you can have a story that stay true to yourself but still engage the interviewer. It's actually simple. Imagine you seeing your friend. You always tell them stories, right? Like, last week, I took my dog out and then this guy came right in front of me, some random story. But basically, how you talk to your friend is how you should tell your story when you in an interview. Okay, so just sit down and think about your characteristic, your personality, and think about a story that happened to you and what you've been through until this point. And then you go out, see your friends or your mom, your parents, and you just tell that story. Don't let them know that you're gonna tell this story in the interview. Just just tell the story that you prepare. And then I think after telling them that story, you'll be able to know how you should write that story. I'm not saying that write like you say something that's not true, okay? Write a story. I mean how to tell the story that it can be engaged and it's natural and it help other people want to listen to it and they can understand the message you convey the most. Again, treat the interview as a conversation, and the best way to do it is to tell story. And the best way to tell the best story is to tell that story to your friend. Then you will know how to say it the right way, because it's basically the thing you have always been doing. Right now, I'm gonna wear my glasses so that this video can be less boring for you all. Um, so I already tell you how to be yourself, how to tell the best story. That's basically what to do um, in the interview. I want to talk about your feeling in the interview. Basically, in general, we are afraid of things that we don't know, and because we're afraid, we become nervous. So I know there's a lot of things that um, in the interview about the interview that make us nervous, but one of them I think it'll be because we don't know what they're gonna ask and we don't know what we gonna answer. We don't know the answer and we cannot prepare for everything. You can prepare as much as you want, but keep in mind that you will never be prepared enough, and that's okay. I'll talk about it after this. So let's talk about the nervousness because you don't know the answer. I just want to let you know you know the answer and only you know the answer because this interview is about you. They make the question, right? But it's not like a scientific questions where the answer is only one. This question, when they ask you, they don't even know the answer because it's about you. Only you know yourself. So I hope I help you to get rid of one thing that make you nervous. I hope after this you go to the interview and you will not be afraid of not knowing the answer because it's about you. Only you know the answer. I think I did bring up a good point where I tell you don't overly prepare because if you prepare too much, you become like a robot. Don't try to be fluent in the interview. It's okay to stop, take your time, think about a question, think about the answer, and stay true to yourself. Don't feel like you have to have the answer right away. Again, it's not question answer, it's a conversation. And they will be understanding that you're not ready to tell them the answer right away. So take time to think about a question. And then also sometime when you go to the interview, there will be a time limit. Like you have 5 minutes to answer. You have 10 minutes for your one-on-one interview, and that is when you feel like you don't have time. So don't fall into that thinking because it's not a competition of how many questions you can answer within 5 minutes. It's more of a good impression that you want to give them a good impression and you want to have a good conversation where they understand who you are and they have a good impression of you. So again, don't try to answer all the question. Don't try to find the right answer because there's no right answer. You're the only one who knows. Right, now going to the last thing. This tip, I wish I know. I feel like after realizing this tip, I did really well on my interviews, but until that point, I only have 2 or 3 interviews left. Anyways, it is that you have to know when to talk more and when to talk less. So sometimes, so my mistake, my story, I came to the interview and then the interviewer asked me just one question, and then I tried to include everything into my answer, even though it was just a very simple question. A lot of time when you come to the interview, your first question, they just want to briefly know about you and get it started. So don't feel like you have to take that opportunity to include everything you want to tell them, you know? So again, it's a conversation. So it depends on the environment, how the pace is going. You will know when to talk less, when to tell them more. Sometimes they ask a question that you tell them a very deep story, then I'm sure they will be very excited to listen. Always excited to listen to your story, actually. But in order to have a good conversation, you have to be in control and know when to share more or when to be straightforward with your answer. Okay, I hope it helps you guys. That was the tip that I have. If you have any other questions, just comment below. And if you think this videos is helpful, just share with all your friends. Don't share with your competitors. I'm just kidding. I mean, just try to help other people and then good things will come back to you. That's for sure. So yeah, let me know, guys, if you need anything else. I'm always available here. Bye for now.